Alright, legends, it's Rufus here. And I'm about to read you another chapter of my book, Pixie Star and the Pocket Watch of Doom. Before I do that, quick reminder, if you go to rufuscribbles.com, you can buy this book, you can buy merch, there's links to the YouTube channel, and all sorts of updates and information and all that sort of thing. So, without further ado, here's another chapter! Chapter 3, in which the bubblegum troll appears to shrink. Seeing the troll slump to the ground, the boy let his guard down and rubbed his head where the acorns had hit him. "That hurt," he said to Hazel sulkily. "Oh, rubbish," she snapped. "You were just fighting a pink, blobby giant. A few acorns won't do anything. Now get me out of this tree." The boy was clearly not used to being talked to like that, and gave a few grumpy huffs and puffs. "Would it help if I said please?" asked Hazel, one eyebrow raised. All right, he grumbled, and flitted up into the tree. "You don't have to be so mean about it." "Mean? I'll tell you about mean. Mean is interrupting a nice, peaceful swinging person by making lots of noise and blinding flashing lights. That's what mean is." He did what he was told and fetched her down from the tree, grudgingly. "Now, what is going on here?" she asked in her sternest voice, trying to imitate her aunt, as she was the only truly stern person she'd ever known. "You go first," she motioned to the sobbing pink mass sitting on the forest floor. "Huh?" it grumbled. "What is going on here?" she asked again. "You're asking me?" The troll looked very confused about this, as if he'd never been asked a question in his entire life, which, of course, he hadn't. People don't tend to talk to bubblegum trolls, you see. They just tend to run away in terror. Well, the troll stuttered. "I'm not really sure." The boy was looking on, more curious than annoyed now. This was not how he'd expected things to go, but, being a particularly intelligent pixie, he quickly adjusted to the situation and was genuinely interested in, if nothing else, the fact that he'd just heard a bubblegum troll actually talk. He didn't know they could do that. The fact that the troll was talking wasn't the only strange and unusual thing happening, though. At first, Hazel and the boy weren't really sure if the thing they thought was happening was, in fact, actually happening. As the changes were so subtle, they doubted their own eyes. But it seemed that the troll was slowly shrinking. Hazel turned to the boy and barked at him. "Didn't you happen to notice how upset this poor creature was when you were hurting him?" Her hand was on her hip, a move she'd learned from her aunt when she got upset with Hazel for not being orderly enough. "What? Well, no, look at it. It's a giant marauding bubblegum troll, for goodness sake. I was fighting for my life," pleaded the boy, genuinely unnerved by Hazel. "He's not marauding now, though, is he?" "Well, no, but..." "No buts. Just answer the question." Okay, no, he's not marauding anymore." The boy wasn't enjoying Hazel's sternness one little bit, and his mood made his hair change colour from fiery red to a sort of limp orange. "I'm not sure about you, but I believe that when you're attacking something and it's crying, you probably shouldn't be attacking it. It just doesn't seem like a very nice thing to do." She paused for a second and looked at him quizzically. "Did your hair just change colour?" "Huh? Ah, yeah, does that?" Right, okay." Hazel had lost her angry stride, and her voice softened slightly. Anyway, so it's not very nice to hurt things that are crying. Can we agree?" The bubblegum troll was in awe of Hazel. This was not how he'd imagined things would turn out either. The boy muttered quietly from between gritted teeth. "Agreed." "I'm sorry, what was that?" she said, leaning forward and cupping a hand to her ear. "I couldn't hear you. You'll have to speak louder." "You really are quite a difficult person, aren't you?" the boy said in a final attempt at rebellion. "I said I didn't hear you," she demanded. "Fine, I agree." "Good. Now, I think that you owe this poor creature an apology." They both turned around to look at the troll and gasped in surprise. It had shrunk. A lot. Before it had been over 20 feet tall, and now was the height of the boy, a mere 5 feet. "Good grief," Hazel exclaimed. Rather than looking all huge and terrified, the troll now looked almost cute. Okay, didn't see that coming," she said, and after gathering her wits for a second, walked over to him. He was still slumped on the floor. There was a litter of stuff all around him. Apparently, as he shrank, his stickiness stopped being so sticky, and all the things that had been stuck to him had dropped all over the ground. Some confused animals and birds scurried and flitted away from the troll as quickly as they could.
I didn't see it coming either,
said the troll, genuinely surprised. Hazel approached him and wiped the tears from his now much smaller face with her hanky. Well, I must say, I do prefer you this size. You were quite scary before, she said with a smile, and the troll gave out a little laugh, shrinking even further. First things first, we should have introductions. My name is Hazel Woods, and I'm very pleased to meet you. She extended her hand to shake the troll's. After a moment, he finally stopped shrinking, got to his feet, standing at 4 feet tall. He reached up with a smile on his face and took her hand.
I'm so very sorry, but I don't actually have a name, he said.
No name? Why's that? The bubblegum troll told Hazel about how bubblegum trolls are born. That they spring out of pink clay when it's hit by lightning. That they spend their lives being confused, upset, runny abouty, and generally large and sticky. He didn't know that he could shrink down like this, and he'd never had anyone ask his name, so he'd never needed one. We must find you a name. Do you have any ideas about who you might like to be?
Not really. I don't know much, you see, but I seem to be able to think a lot more since I've become a lot smaller, so maybe I'll find something in my head. Or maybe you'd like to give me a name. You seem quite clever and nice.
The boy stood watching in complete bewilderment. He'd encountered something like 50 bubblegum trolls in his life, and nothing like this had ever happened before. Well, that would be an honour, said Hazel with a breath of pride. Are you a boy or a girl?
I'm neither. And both, I think.
Huh. Right. Well. Hazel was a little puzzled by this and scratched her chin for a moment. I think we should call you Fandango. It's one of my favourite shades of pink, just like you. And more than anything, it's a really great word, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, I like it,
said Fandango enthusiastically, hopping up and down, hands clapping. Well, Fandango, it's a pleasure to meet you. And just as she'd decided to do when she was up in the tree, she gave him the biggest hug she could muster. It was a good hug, and Fandango proved to be completely unsticky, which made the hug all the more enjoyable for both of them. The boy looked on, feeling both confused and more than a little bit left out, so he gave a little cough. Hazel took the hint and turned around. And what would your name be? She'd put her stern voice back on again. I am the Pixie Star Butterblossom, he said, but you can call me Star. Well, Star, this is Fandango. Will you shake hands with him and say that you're sorry for upsetting him? Looking slightly sheepish, Star walked over to Fandango and shook his hand. I'm sorry for upsetting you, Fandango.
That's okay,
said Fandango.
The way I see it, I was upset all the time until just now. So if you hadn't fought me, we wouldn't have met Hazel and I would still be upset. So really, I should be thanking you, shouldn't I?
Hazel beamed at Fandango with pride. What a truly remarkable individual Fandango is, she thought. Then, quite out of the blue, the utter strangeness of it all, the fighting, loud noises, bubblegum trolls, lightning flying out of fingers and pixies and whatnot, she promptly fainted. Thanks for listening to that, and before you hang around and listen to the funny noises that I make when I make mistakes all the way through the reading, you might want to think about going to rufuscribbles.com. There's links to a YouTube channel, there's merch, there's all sorts of stuff. You can buy books, you can buy this book. So, yeah, go along to rufuscribbles.com, and now here's some funny noises. God. You were just fighting a pink giant and a flippin' Nora. I can't get it right. 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 You were just fighting a big ploppy. No, not ploppy. Blobby. Ploppy. Flip, 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 flip. Tripping over my words. My tongue isn't working. Didn't you happen to notice how upset didn't you happen to can't do it. After a moment he finally stopped beating the double with a smile on his face and the bubblegum troll top. I am the Pixie Star Bottom. Botty bottom? No. So again, thank you so much for listening. And remember, go to rufuscribbles.com and, look around there, do some things, have some fun. All right, thanks again. You're awesome. Cheers, legends.